maybe smooth out your breath even more. Smoothing out the breath so it's equal in inhale and exhale. Softening your shoulders, your face, your jaw. Allowing your spine to lengthen, but with ease as you lift through each vertebra. Allowing yourself to feel that you're actively seated, but also relaxed and giving some weight to the ground as well. Keep that going with your breath for 5 more breaths, please. I'll read about Samana a little bit more for you. Samana Vayu is literally the balancing air, moves primarily in the region between the navel and the heart, the solar plexus, and is said to be the seat of the heart. It is the controlling power of metabolism or digestive fire and the functioning of the digestive organs and glands. It governs the assimilation of oxygen in the air that we breathe. It also provides that unifies the two opposite forces of prana and apana. Corresponds with the area in which we practice Uddiyana Bandha. Its work with food and digestion is the force that separates nutrients from toxins. When it is not functioning well, one may retain toxins leading to shortness of breath and gastric disorders. In the case of the mind, the Samana Vayu is the power by which we separate out or discern beneficial from detrimental, which allows us to assimilate information for the sake of making choices. When there is a disorder, one can be disillusional or have an unbalanced mind. For this reason, in the yoga tradition, the power of digestion is very closely linked to the power of the mind, particularly regarding judgment and discrimination. Samana Vayu is associated with the element of fire and associated with Manipura chakra, solar plexus. So as we breathe for 1 more breath, just noticing how your belly extends forward with an inhale and exhale, drawing lower belly in, navel to spine. Let's now either keep our hands here or we can lower them to our legs and take Gaya Mudra, index finger and thumb touching. Or you can just hold your hands to your belly still. We're going to practice Kapalabhati, shining skull breath. If you have your legs crossed, maybe crossing them the opposite way. And how we practice shining skull breath is to pump the navel fast and to move our belly fast. And this wakes up our digestion, wakes up all the organs, and also rises prana up through our body, awakening our whole system with balance and vitality. So either keeping your hands to your belly to feel this pumping action, or hands to the sides if you're used to Kapalabhati. We inhale to prepare, and then we keep our mouth closed and we breathe through our mouth, fast pants, as if you were like a dog panting with its mouth open. So you can either practice that on the first round, and we'll inhale all together, please. And then exhale, starting to pant, either with your mouth closed, through the nostrils, or mouth open. I'll show you the mouth open first of all. Bringing your breath back to a few neutral balanced breaths in between our second round. Let's take 3 rounds of this together. Maybe you can feel the belly pumping a bit more with the hand on the belly, or you can take the hands to the side if you did that before. Inhale to prepare. Exhale through your nose or mouth, panting again. And when it's right for you, having an exhale to finish that round, having a few breaths in between, clearing, cleansing, noticing the energy and what's different with this pranayama, this life force technique. One more time, either hands to your legs or to your belly, Noticing the breath again and pumping navel to spine, moving the belly. Inhale to prepare. And panting when you're ready. Great, letting that go with a few neutral breaths. Bring this balance with your inhale and exhale. And either closing your eyes for a few moments just to notice the energy, said to be an awakening, effervescent energy rising. And as the blood rises to your skull, it's called shining skull breath to bring awareness and clarity to your mind, to your skull. And this link between our digestion and our mind, our navel, and our thoughts. Okay, let's start to move now. You can either come to kneeling or keep your legs crossed. With an inhale, lift your heart up to the sky, looking up. As you exhale, rounding into a seated cat-cow. Inhale to lift up, feel the front of the body stretching. Exhale to round your lower belly as you arch. One more time, inhale to rise, press the ground away. And exhale to round your lower belly in. Inhale to flat back. Lift the hands up overhead, please. And as you interlace the fingers, turn the palms of the hands up, rising to the top, stretching through the side bodies, your spine, the front and the back body. Then drawing lower belly in. Feel your lower ribs drawing in as well, if possible. Exhale, let's take the hands down to the sides. Let's lower onto our backs, please. So either you rock and roll down, using your core to come up onto your sit bones and have a nice massage through your spine. Or you can gently lower down, of course, and just rock from side to side if that suits you more. Once we had a few more rock and rolls or rocking from side to side, let's settle and let's take our left knee in towards the chest, right foot is extended to the top of your mat. Flex and point both feet, and then taking your hands to the back of the left thigh, let's straighten and bend the left knee. So start to straighten the leg up to the sky, and then bending it down. Noticing your lower back, your hips, and the rest of the back, your shoulders balanced on the ground. And trying to draw lower belly in towards your spine as you move your leg, straightening and bending the knee. One more time. Great, let's keep the legs straight now and circle the ankle with the foot in the air, round one way and then round the other. Softening face, jaw and shoulders, lengthening through. If you have a strap, you can hold a strap around the foot, of course, or you can just hold the back of the leg and feel the legs straight up to the sky. Pressing through both legs, flexing both feet, and pressing the back down to the ground. Draw lower belly in for a breath, feeling the lower belly, and feeling your diaphragm slightly lifted up through your rib cage. Then relaxing your belly. Let's take our hand to the outer leg or to the outer foot if you can reach it. There's no need to reach it though, just wherever your hand is on your leg most comfortably. You can hold the strap as well. We take the leg over to the left, opening it out to the left, stretching through both legs. Feel through the center line of your torso, from your pelvis, Mula Bandha, to the center of your diaphragm, Uddiyana Bandha, which translates as upward flying rock. With an inhale to the center with your leg, let's now cross it all the way over to the other side. Maybe your hand holds the outer thigh, the outer shin, or the outer foot, and you can turn to look to the left as you keep your left shoulder down on the ground. You can bend this left knee if you need to make it a bit easier. We'll do that in a moment as well to come into more of a twist. And then bending the knee, just moving the knee over a tiny bit more, feeling your rib cage and the side ribs, feeling down through the side of the body. One more breath.
Let's come back to center and straighten the leg up to the sky. Lift the lower leg, the right leg, off the ground if possible. You can just stay here, drawing lower belly in, or we lift our chest off the ground, the shoulders off the ground, and look forward. You can do some little pulses with the hands, like a Pilates moving away, and just pulse up and down as you draw lower belly in, lower back to the ground. Feel the shoulders relaxed away from your ears, softening your jaw. One more breath. Great, hugging both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side, please. And then let's do some normal crunches here. We'll take the hands behind the head, bend the knees, flex the feet, press the lower back to the ground as much as you can, slightly rounding the lower back as you flex your feet. Feel your inner arches to inner thighs and the connection to your core through your legs. As you exhale, draw your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, lower back down. 5 more breaths, feeling into your breath, linking with the movement, allowing yourself to have this balance with your breath and the balance of strength and softness. So even though we're practicing with our strong core, awakening our navel center and really helping our digestion, all of our organs and our core strength through our body wake up. We're also feeling into softness, into flowing fluidity with our movement. One more breath. Great. Straightening out the left leg and hugging your right knee into your chest now. Let's circle and flex the ankle and point and flex the foot a few times. And then we'll straighten the leg up to the sky, circling the ankle around one way and then the other. Then start to bend and straighten the leg, taking the hands behind the thighs. Noticing the shoulders, the back, the hips, and straightening to the left foot with the left toes still flexed. Feel the legs straighten and bend, and any difference on this side. How it feels, if it's more flexibility or if you're a bit tighter, the leg feels lighter or heavier. Let's straighten the leg up to the sky and feel the legs straight and through the leg line from the inner arch to the inner pelvis. Draw lower belly in and press the lower back to the mat again. We carefully move the leg out to the side, either holding onto our thigh, our shin, or the outer foot. And as you stretch it out, notice both hips level to the ground, leveling shoulders and face as well. One more breath. Taking the leg over the body as you bend the knee. We'll then take it all the way over to the left, and either you again hold your thigh, your calf, shin area, or the outer foot. You can bend the knee as well to make it easier. And as you look to the right, feel into your right shoulder, softening to the ground, turning your gaze. Let's have one more breath here before we bend the knee.
Cherish the small moment. Cherish this breath.
Great, let's bend the knee now and look to the right still for our spinal twist as you soften through your rib cage, feel down through the side body. And breathing across the side body, around the ribs. Softening through. Coming back to center when you're ready, please. Let's keep the the right leg straight up to the sky and the left leg to the top of the mat. Lift the left foot off the ground and looking forward, either up to the sky with the head down or lifting your head and your shoulders off the ground. You can do little pulses with the hands, draw lower belly in, strong through the legs. Soften your shoulders and your face. Keep pulsing, breathing through. And then drawing both knees into your chest. Have a rock from side to side, softening your jaw and your face. We're now straighten through the body with your hands over your head, please. Feet long, lengthen to your fingers and your toes, reaching through. We'll now take opposite arm to leg, keeping one hand and one foot to the ground. Just reach over to the opposite leg with the hand and lift both above your body. Keep that going with your own breath, drawing lower belly in as you engage into the reach. And maybe you start to reach a bit more and lift your top shoulder off the ground, and reach beyond the shin of the opposite leg. As you twist a little bit, keep that going, drawing lower belly in, feeling from the extremities of your body into the center of this balancing force, Samana Vayu. One more breath each side and ending on the opposite side you didn't start with, please. Great, let's stretch out long again, so the whole of the body stretch through the floor, reaching to fingers and toes. And then coming to a softening of the arms over the head. Let's interlace our fingers behind our head. You can either keep your feet down and flexing the toes up to the sky with strong legs, and just move one elbow towards the opposite side, lifting that shoulder off the ground, going to the other side and feeling into your rib cage, or we're doing opposite elbow to knee. You can scissor the legs as you move, take it to what's right for you. And if it's a bit hard for you with your hands behind your head, you just want to move your legs, you can have the hands to the sides of the body, just moving the legs. As we work on our core, we often really avoid it and we don't like core work a lot, do we? But it's really good for our whole body. You know, it's good for your lower back, for your spine, for your digestion, for your whole body to be held in balance with your core. One more breath, moving what's right for you and ending on the opposite side. And then let's hug our knees in again. Rock from side to side for a moment. And taking circles with the knees as we hold onto the knees, noticing the hips being massaged to the ground. Circling the other direction when you're ready, please. Okay, let's circle the knees out and in from each other, butterfly wings. And circling the knees the opposite direction. And let's now take our left outer ankle on top of the right knee, right foot to the ground. You can either keep your hands on your thighs and the right foot down. You can press the thigh muscles up the thigh bones. You hold the top of the thigh muscles, the flesh, and try to move the flesh, the muscle up the bone a bit to create some room in your pelvis and stretch out any tension that maybe was activated by that core work. Maybe you can rock from side to side a little bit, have a sway to massage the back of your sacrum. You can stay there for 3 more breaths, or let's hug the knees in. Flexing both feet, you can flex and point the lifted foot, the right foot, and maybe circling it round one way and then the other. Coming to stillness with the feet half flexed, so they're soft but strong. And noticing the back, the shoulders, the lower back pressing to the mat. One more breath here. Great, you can either move that right foot down to the ground and just stay for a few breaths in stillness, or we're going to hug the knees in a bit more and rock and roll up and down with that rocking motion, noticing our core, and just having a little bit of a play. Hands on your legs wherever it feels best for you. One more breath. Great, everyone. And as you soften down, let's shake out our arms and legs over our body, give everything a bit of a shake. Placing both feet to the ground, let's just circle our arms above us. Like you're making big circles in the air. And just noticing both arms, how they move. Trying to balance the movement of both arms in the space that you have. Softening your shoulders. And inviting this balancing energy with your arm movements to balance through your aura, your heart field, with the two circles of sun and moon. Okay, let's go to the other side now, taking our right foot and the outer right ankle on top of the left knee. Take your hands to the upper thighs and pressing the muscle up the bone again. Feeling into the balance of your shoulders, taking your shoulders away from your ears so your head is balanced and relaxed. Noticing the space in the pelvis, the back of the lower spine, the lower lumbar. And then you either keep the left foot down or we'll hug the knees in again. Maybe flex and point the feet and circle the left ankle when you're ready. And then keeping both feet active, flexed as you soften your shoulders, pressing the back to the mat, feeling into the stretch through the right hip and across the right glute to the center of the glute, the piriformis muscle. One more breath here. You can either stay with a stretch or take the left foot down and stay there for a few breaths. Or let's rock and roll again, up and down using our core. Just noticing this side, what the difference is. Maybe 3 times or however many you did last time. Great, and then coming back to your back, please. Let's shake out the arms and the legs again, overhead. And taking the arms down to the sides, palms facing down. Just circle your legs in a way that's best for you. They don't have to be big circles, they can be quite tiny ones with your feet above you, above the hips, and noticing the circle. It can be smooth with your awareness, smoothing it out so it's all smooth around the sides. Maybe you change from big circles to small circles to just find the difference in your body, and changing direction as well. One more breath, please. Great, let's draw our knees in, either rolling onto the side for a few breaths and press yourself up to seated, or we can roll up onto our sit bones again. If you're up on your sit bones, you can practice Navasana, feet forward, hands to the ground, or hands to your thighs, or hands forward, flexing the toes. And when you come up to seated, you may just like to sit in seated in stillness instead of the active boat, and just lengthen through your spine. So choosing what's right for you. One more breath, drawing from your lower belly, lifting from your lower back, up to the top of your crown. Great, exhale, let's lower the feet down, cross your legs, take your hands back a little bit behind you, and we'll lift our heart, soften shoulders, press the ground away, rise up through the body. Feel the front of the body, the shoulder stretch. Great, let's come onto our hands and knees, please. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Spreading the fingers, pressing the pads of the hands down, pressing your shins and the top of the feet to the ground. Have a little sway in your own way. We'll stretch out the front of the body a bit more, either coming into full melting heart and a hatha posture where we take both hands over the head, hips stay lifted and the hips are back slightly to allow the head and the heart to come down. Or we take half heart, melting heart posture, moving one forearm so it's square to the top of the mat, one hand above our head and just gently balancing out on both sides this way. Take 3 breaths either side if you're practicing half melting heart posture, or just breathing through, feeling into the armpit stretch As you maybe change to the other side now, if you're practicing half, and notice the armpits, the lymph nodes, our lymphatic system, connected to our digestion, our immune system, feeling into balancing as you soften your face, your shoulders, and melt your heart to the ground. Great, coming back to a tabletop position, but this time with your forearms on the ground, please. Check that the forearms are level, shoulder width, the hands are pressing to the ground. You can walk the knees back until you feel your core active, or flex the toes to the ground and press the heels away to straighten through the legs. Maybe you have a little pulse forward and back or side to side. Noticing both shoulders, really strong here. Encouraging your shoulders to be stable with strength. One more breath. Lifting through the body, slightly hollowing the front of your chest as well as your core. Pressing to the feet, active legs. And then exhale, let's lower down with our knees and our pelvis to the ground. Come into Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders. Have a little wriggle on the front of the legs, the feet. The toes are pressing down, lengthen through. Engaging your glutes to lift from the lower back up to the crown of your head. We can have a little sway with our head here. And maybe you look over one shoulder with your chin and the other shoulder, or make it into a circle, a semicircle, whatever feels right for you. Just moving around the neck, releasing that any tension. And if you're circling, moving the other direction as well. Coming back to center. Let's tuck under our toes and move the knees up the mat carefully. Either stay with our forearms on the ground for dolphin, version of down dog, which is harder than our normal version. And we'll come into down dog very soon. So you can either practice the dolphin version, head is in between the upper arms, lifting hips and straightening through the legs. Or we come into normal down dog, hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. Fingers spread, lift the knees off the ground as you take the hips back for the stretch through. Trying to keep a little bend in the knees to angle the pelvis backwards. If you're in dolphin, it's quite nice to lift one leg up to the sky and then change the legs to the other side. You can do this in down dog as well, having stretch out, one leg to the sky, and then the other leg. Great, coming down onto your knees, you can have the knees a bit wider apart for child's pose as you soften your head down, taking your hands maybe to your feet to really relax your shoulders and your head. Or the hands can be above the head, palms pressed together and prayer to the back of your head to stretch out the shoulders a bit more. One more breath here, please, breathing through the back of the body, noticing the back of the lungs. Great, let's come up into down dog. And child's pose that we were just in is our rest pose at any time during class as usual. You're welcome to rest and move in your own way what's best for your body and your energy today. With an inhale, lift the right foot up to the sky, please. Exhale, draw the knee in and step that foot forward between your hands for lunge. Either low or high lunge. Let's just move forward and back with the body moving forwards and back. So you're either with the left knee down in a low lunge or with the left knee up and maybe just swaying the hands over the head. And also in our low lunge, we can move the hands over the head if you want to. Feeling into your core strength and the balance point in the center of this sway for you. Great, taking the left hand down, right hand up to the sky. We'll circle this right arm round. You can be in low lunge or high lunge again, whatever feels best. And as you soften the shoulder back, taking this big circle. One more breath. Great, taking your hands to the ground, moving back to down dog for a stretch. You can stay in down dog or rest in child's pose, or we move through a vinyasa. Coming to plank with an inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or full body press up, chaturanga. Inhale to rise for cobra, softening shoulders back. And exhale back to downward facing dog. You can rest in child's pose if you need to, of course. Take an extra breath here, lengthening through, feeling the center of your body and your torso just above the navel where the diaphragm is, and lifting up through that diaphragm area slightly. Inhale to lift left foot up to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee in, step the foot forward to the top of the mat. Low or high lunge again, and either the hands are down, we're slightly rocking, or hands above the head, in high or low lunge, whatever feels good. Noticing that balance point as you sway. Lean into the hips, the legs, what's pressing down to the ground with apana, and what's rising with prana. Taking the right hand down, left hand turns to the sky. As you turn to the left, big circle round with the arms softening the shoulder back. Taking a few more breaths here, noticing the breath balanced with your own rhythm. And then hands down, stepping back to down dog again. Moving to a rest pose if you need to, or let's move through our vinyasa. Coming to plank, exhale through your press up, knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. Inhale to rise for cobra, up dog, lifting up, lifting your heart. And exhale back to down dog. 3 more big breaths. You can rest in child's pose, of course, if you need to. Having a sigh, softening face and jaw. Well done, everyone. Great, let's step the feet together at the back of the mat. Big toes touching, please. Press the shins and the upper thighs back. Feel the core and draw up through the lower belly. Feeling the diaphragm lifted up, upward flying lock. One more breath here. Then inhale, let's lift our right foot up to the sky, bend the right knee, look under right upper arm for scorpion dog. You can flex and point the right foot a few times, feeling the muscle engagement. And then let's carefully draw the right knee in towards your chest, coming into high plank. And then you can either take the right knee down just behind the right wrist for pigeon pose, an easy, nice hip opener. Or we're going to move the right foot to the outer right hand and turn the toes out for lizard pose, which is a bit more stronger hip opener for most of us. So either pigeon or lizard, whatever's best for you. You can tuck the left toes under and lift that left knee off the ground in both if you want to lengthen out through that left leg more. One more breath. You can lower down a bit more for pigeon or go to your forearms and lizard if you like as well. Okay, let's lift the right foot behind ourselves and either with the left knee down in tabletop, shake that right leg out behind you, or lift up to downward facing dog, shaking it out behind you. Now draw the right knee into the chest again. And now we're going to take the right foot over to the left. Maybe you're hovering the foot off the ground to make it harder. And we lift the left hand up above us. And if this is too hard, you can have the right knee down to the ground and the left hand is lifted in a half plank form. Or the right foot is hovering out in front of you. I know it's hard on your right wrist. Moving back to down dog. When you're ready, have a pedal out. Okay, let's go to the other side, stepping feet together back of the mat, pressing the shins, the upper thighs back. With an inhale, lift the left foot up to the sky, bend the left knee, look under left upper arm for scorpion dog. Flex and point the foot a few times, feeling the stretch through. Balanced hands, drawing up through your navel. And then drawing the knee forwards to your chest. Pause there, either the knee down to the ground just behind the left wrist for pigeon pose. And staying Balance through your hips, or we take the left foot to the outer left hand again, turn the toes out for lizard. Back knee can be lifted again, and choose your hand options, what's best for you. Maybe having a little sway if you did so before. And softening through your face, your jaw, lengthening with your breath. Let's take the right knee down and lift the left leg back behind us, shaking it a little bit, either staying on your knee or coming up to down dog again. Reaching that foot back, and everybody in down dog, let's draw the left knee in towards the chest, and then kicking the left foot out to the right, either on the ground or lifting right hand up. You can have that left knee down to help you in a half plank form as well. Reaching up with your heart, your gaze, your hand to the sky. Exhale, coming down to the ground. Let's take a down dog again, just have a pedal out. And then moving the hands back to the feet, all the way to the back of the mat. Soft forward fold, maybe circling your wrist round one way and then the other. Holding on to the back of the calves if you can, or you can just have the hands forward and the knees bent. Feeling into the pelvis tilting backwards, and you're lengthening through the leg line, lifting the hips, drawing lower belly in, and diaphragm lifted, upward flying lock, Uddiyana Bandha. And as we come to our forward folds, we always feel our lower belly drawing in, and it helps tilt the pelvis and helps us get further down in our folds, but also it's really, really good for our digestive system to awaken all of our lower organs and to tone our core as well. So as we notice the feet, feel all toes, and draw up through the inner arches to the inner pelvis, lift Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, and lower belly with diaphragm lifted, Uddiyana Bandha. Feeling into your throat as well, which is called Jananala Bandha, and it's connected to a Vayu, a wind, which we will be working with as well. And these three bandhas together make Maha Bandha, Master Bandha. And the 5 Vayus, the 5 winds together, make Maha Prana, the Master Prana. So they're connected and everything's in this balancing connection. One more breath in your forward fold, please. And then letting go of that as you rise all the way up to the top to standing. Let's reach our hands overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up and have a full body stretch out. Well done for that strong work as well with your wrists and down dog and planks. Great, let's widen our hands out to the sides and drop them down. Lean the palms facing forwards for Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll practice a few balances here, eagle, flying eagle to tree. And you've got the chance to either keep your foot lifted in each and between each, or to touch down in between each and to take a break, okay? So your choice, whatever's best for you. Let's start with eagle first of all. So we're going to lift our left foot, I'll mirror you, over our right leg. And you can either bend both knees quite deeply and hook the thighs quite tightly over each other, or we just take the left foot down to the ground, bending the knees a little bit softer. You can take the left elbow under right, and then either the hands to your shoulders or backs of the hands together. You can weave the hands round to the palms if that's available as well. Drawing up through your core, lower belly lifted and upward flying lock is active. Feel from your inner arches up to your pelvic floor and up through your body, drawing in the energy into your center. Take the elbows down and slightly lift the elbows forward to look down and feel the shoulder stretch a bit more. We're trying to move everything into center. So the knee is moving over to the left a little bit and the arms down a little bit. One more breath, focusing on a point in front. And then coming up to a rising position, you can touch the foot down and stand, or we take the outer ankle on top of the right knee, feeling into the hips, lowering backwards. You can have something in front of you to hold on to as well, the tree or any of these balances, maybe to the side of you or in front. Maybe your hands are to your heart in our flying eagle variation today, and perhaps you take your elbows to the foot and the knee to lower down, and you can take the hands all the way to the ground. That's a hard one, or we just keep our hands wide, flying with our wings. Great, everybody, I know it's hard. Great, we can now touch this left foot down if we need to. We take tree pose, maybe the foot to the inner calf, maybe it's touching down and the ankle is resting, the heel and the ankle on the ground, or to the inner thigh above the knee joint. Taking your hands to your heart when you're ready, lengthening up to the top, softening shoulders back, drawing up through your core. Inhale, reach the hands up, feel the diaphragm, an upward flying lock. And then feel Mula Bandha, switch that on as well. Feel the activation as you engage your core, drawing lower belly and lower ribs in. Great, we can interlace the fingers, turn the palms up again, up here, or you can touch the foot down, relax to standing. And then maybe interlacing the fingers behind you and drawing the shoulder blades, feeling your core and the stretch through the front of the body. Great, let's lower down. When we're ready, have a shake out, shaking arms and legs, maybe lifting the feet off the ground and shake out all the flesh from the bones or the joints, the nadis, the energy lines. Okay, let's go to the other side, feet hip distance apart, level, standing in Tadasana, palms facing forwards, soften shoulders back. We take Eagle Garudasana, moving this right foot now over the left leg, just wrapping them or bending the knee, wrapping the thighs tightly into center and moving the foot round to the back. Right elbow under left, hands to your shoulders, or the backs of the hands to face each other, or the palms weave round a bit more. Coming into your center point, starting to lower when you're ready. Well done. Feeling into your breath, and then drawing your lower belly in, hollowing the front of the body so you're an active, rounded spine like cat. As you soften your shoulders away from your ears, taking your elbows forward and the gaze down slightly to encourage the stretch across your shoulder blades, your trapezius muscle. This right foot can touch down to the ground whenever you need to. Keep squeezing the inner thighs in and your core in. And then starting to move the hands out to the sides like wings. You can just come up to a standing position, maybe the feet come to be hip distance apart, or we're taking the outer right ankle on top of the left knee. Starting to sit back down and take a variation that's right for you. You can keep the arms wide, maybe hands to your heart, maybe elbows to the foot and the knee, and maybe hands down to the ground. If you like that version as well. Those are a bit harder than our hands reaching to the sides, so just noticing what's right for you. And of course, you can just come to standing and relax as well for a moment. And then let's go to tree pose, moving this foot up the inner ankle, maybe touching hand to the calf or to the inner thigh, whatever you did last time. Feeling the hands to center, noticing your pelvis, your hips, lengthening through the spine, drawing up through your core. Feel from the standing foot lifted to the crown of your head. Mula Bandha again, Uddiyana Bandha. Length through your throat with Jalanana Bandha. And the breath, as we breathe through our nostrils, is actively balancing our throat. One more big breath. Great, and take your hand option. Sorry, I forgot about that because I was chatting. Notice what you've done last time and just doing the same this time for balance. Feeling into what's right for you, and when you're ready, taking both feet down, have a shake out, Be shaking the hands up above you, get all the joints moving. Shake your shoulders, shake down the body. Then start to pat the body a little bit if you like, patting through the torso and around the organs. Taking a circle in 3 directions one way and then the other way. And then patting the back of the back, the kidneys, the lower back. Maybe patting up to the back of the rib cage. Just pat down the front of the legs and then up the back of the legs 3 times. And then patting down one arm and up the inside of the arm 3 times. Across your collarbones to the other arm when you're ready. And up the inside of that arm. Great, and then we can end on our shoulders and the back of our neck, coming up to our head, little raindrops on the head. And maybe lightly tapping your face around your eyes, your cheekbones, in your own way, whatever feels nice, tapping down your jaw, maybe opening the jaw, having a sound, maybe taking your earlobes and your ears and pinching them slightly to the sides. And then tapping down across your heart, maybe making a sound. Bring down the center line to your diaphragm, feeling the center of your lower ribs and just tapping there to massage. And down the center of your belly, your stomach, to the lower belly, just tapping there slightly. Great, let's come to a seated position. Stretching our legs long in front. You can either choose the normal position where the legs are a little bit further apart than together, but you're safely aligning your heels and your hips in your own way for your body, whatever is nice for your legs. Or you can keep the legs a bit wider or even wider still to be wide forward fold, whatever feels good for you today. As we inhale, reach the hands overhead. As you exhale, hover, draw lower belly in, flexing toes. Inhale to reach the hands further forward and exhale, hands to the sides. Hands, as you soften them down, maybe holding the strap or to the outer edges of your feet. Maybe first 2 fingers and thumbs to your big toes if you can hold them there. But wherever your hands are, that's right for you, just trying to move the shoulders back and the heart forward. So that's the action. As you draw up through your core, lower belly is drawing in and hollowing. And we're feeling into our diaphragm with upward flying action of our Uddiyana Bandha, our diaphragm, upward flying lock. One more big breath as you inhale, lengthen forwards over the legs, flexing the feet. And exhale, softening down, softening face and jaw. Inhale, reaching the hands up over top. And exhale, hands to the back space. Take your hands a bit further back than normal, so you walk them back for a shoulder stretch. You can stay there with the feet straight and flexed and just enjoy that. Or we can, for the harder variation, take the toes down, lift the hips, look up for inclined plane. Or the feet on the ground, bend the knees, which is a nicer, more comfortable option. Lift the hips for reverse tabletop. Feel the balance of feet and hands and the balance of your leveling through your body with your hips and your shoulders. Pressing the ground away. Breathing deep. One more big breath. Strong with softness. Great, everybody. Let's lower down to the ground. And lowering in a safe way that's right for you, either with the legs straight, slowly lowering through your core, drawing lower belly in, or you can bend the knees, have the feet flat, and lower that way as well. Softening your shoulders down, reach the arms and the feet straight again. Straightening through the body and lengthening, reaching to fingers and toes. And then exhale, hugging your knees in as you rock from side to side. We'll circle around one way and then the other. Let's take our feet to the ground. We'll practice bridge pose, and then you've got a chance to go deeper into full wheel if that's in your practice as well. We'll also think about headstand at the end, but you can relax completely when we're doing headstand and just lie in a nice relaxed way instead if that's for you. Let's firm our feet hip distance apart and level, and then lift the hips off the ground for bridge. If this feels a bit too hard for you and you've done enough already, you could even straighten the legs out and just start to move your feet so the toes are moving and you're actively making a wave through the body from your heels to the crown of your head. If we're in bridge pose, pressing the ground away, feeling through the feet, through the toes, lifting through the legs and the glutes. Feel the front of the body and the front of the diaphragm, the lower ribs, and trying to puff up the belly as much as you can to encourage the stretch. Feeling the front of the body in bridge helps us lift up a bit more and notice the back of the body. So as we have this balance of awareness through the whole of our body, in connection, in wholeness, in tensegrity, everything connected. One more breath. As you soften your shoulders, pressing them to the ground slightly. And then lowering down. You can practice any other variation of bridge if you like, after you've swayed out your knees a little bit and had a break. And any other version of bridge would be lifting up, lifting the heels up, maybe lifting the arms over the head, maybe taking the hands interlaced underneath you, and maybe lifting one foot off the ground in any of those forms, and then going to the other foot. Trying that if you're ready for that, and that's what you'd like to play with today. Or we can just hug the knees in and sway from side to side. And keep the feet down on the ground, hip distance apart, swaying the knees from side to side. If you'd like to try wheel, and that's in your awareness, over Dharana, upward facing bow, you're really welcome to guide yourself through that. And either we stay here just swaying, noticing, balancing all the way with awareness to our feet and how the feet are moving from the outer edges of the feet to the inner arches, and the opposite on both feet, feeling this through. With your awareness to balance, as the more we feel our body and really integrate the balance of our feelings, our emotions, our mind, of what we take into our body with our digestion of food and all of the other types of stimulus that we have in our life, the more we can try to bring this awareness to what's right for us and our patterns and our balance. One more breath as you sway or you're engaged in your bridge or your wheel. And then coming back to center. You can just rest and enjoy your rest with your inner knees touching and the lower back on the ground. Restorative rest. Or we're going to briefly just notice headstand, Sarasana, as our final posture, and maybe we can work on preparing for this as well. So we'll either start with dolphin again, forearms on the ground, hands up, firm down with fingers spread. We lift our knees off the ground, the hips are lifted, stretching out in your dolphin forearm version of down dog. Head is soft between the upper arms and lifting your shoulders up away from your ears and lengthening to the hips. Like bend in the knees and tilt the pelvis back. You can work there. And from this posture, we then progress to forearm stand, which you may know about as well, as you can kick up one foot above you and And use the spring action of the bottom foot to lift the top foot and change feet after a few goes to both sides. And once we've built enough strength for our headstand, we can then interlace the fingers, shoulders are wide, and hands come to the upper arms, just to check that your elbows are shoulder width apart. Interlacing the fingers, tucking one little finger in, and then we level the hands. There's no gap between the hands, the wrist, and the mat. Everything is pressing down as a firm foundation. You then start to walk the feet in, and we can either just stay there, lifting the shoulders away from the ear, drawing up through our core, drawing the lower belly in. You can just lift one foot off the ground and feel the sensation, and then move to the other foot. And then when we lift both feet up together, that's what we have to try and do. So we're not springing up like the other one, we're not bouncing up, we're trying to lift both feet up together into a little tuck, and then maybe you start to straighten up slowly in your own time. When you come down, coming into child's pose, and resting with the hands to the feet, resting your face, your jaw, your shoulders, softening through. And taking any other posture that you'd like to come onto our backs now, please, and rest for Shavasana. So well done if you're guiding yourself through anything else that's nice for you. As you come to lying down, feeling all of the energy that you've been working on with your core now, sealing into the goodness of your body, the thriving energy within you. Now, solar plexus Manipura chakra is all about shining energy that you already have inside of you, with empowerment, with positivity, with an inner smile, with the rays of the sun lit inside of you, your own inner sun. Manipura translates as hidden gem or hidden treasure. This hidden gem or hidden treasure is your own awareness of the thriving transformation you have inside of you with every breath, every moment, every opportunity and choice. As you rest in this glowing golden sunlight, allowing the sun to beam and shine in all directions, all the rays of the sun beaming through you, to your fingers, your thumbs, your toes, to the crown of your head, through your spine, as you soften your face, your jaw, as you soften down through your body, softening all the way through the back of the body, letting your shoulders, your hips release to the ground, softening your core, softening all the way through to the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Feeling this golden stream of abundance, of thriving energy. The stream moving through you. And the stream moving from the earth, the soles of your feet, all the way through you. And moving from the sky, the crown of your head, all the way through you. These two winds of prana and apana, with samana, the balancing wind, turning with your breath, circling with your breath, noticing this circle with balance, with thriving abundance, with cleansing and clearing.
And I read about the new moon, which is today. New moon in Capricorn continues to invite you inwards, deepening down into your roots. We've been working with the energy of turning inwards for such a long time as we continue to feel this turning inwards energy, the inward energy of the year. And as the days now are visibly lengthening, the energy of the trees is still deeply rooted within the earth. We gain about an hour of sunlight this month. It's beautiful to witness the return of the light as the evenings lengthen. I encourage you to go outside and walk, really connect your feet with the earth, and to notice the tender re-emergence of life and light. The new moon in Capricorn brings the focus to your bones. Bones create structure and strength, connecting you to the earth element. Capricorn invites you to deepen your roots, grounding into the strength and the depth of the earth. Meeting your own strength and depth and courage. The energy of Capricorn can help you take practical steps to reach your goals, grounding your intentions. As you feel the connection between your bones and the earth supporting and holding your bones supporting and holding your structure. Inhale the strength and energy of the earth, allowing yourself to infuse your whole body and bones with the strength and structure of your own thriving intention. Exhale to release any limiting beliefs. And as you lie for a few more moments, breathing through your body and your bones, releasing to the earth, soaking in this energy of thriving abundance that's always within you and around you. As you notice the silence, maybe widening your ears as wide as you can with your hearing to sounds outside your room, your house. And noticing the sound of your breath as you deepen your breath, waking for your day again. Starting to move your fingers, your thumbs, your toes. Stretch in any way that's nice for you. When you're ready, coming to seated in your own way, please. You can take your hands to your heart, either with the palms facing each other, pressing together in prayer, Anjali Mudra. Put your hand to your heart. Maybe one hand to your heart, one hand to the earth. Whatever feels a nice gesture for you to finish your practice, thanking your body, thanking your heart, your mind, your soul, and through your bones to the earth below, thanking all. As we bow our head to our hearts, bowing to each other, bowing to all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much.